I was present at President Ivanov's and Dr. Cyril Geding's talk on the dilemma, is the world divided by good and evil, and half people are good and half are evil, or good and evil is in all of us, and we have to decide to which we give predominance. Whatever is the case, we have to work hard so that goodness and light fill the vacuum. And all the little vacuums in our lives, it is so easy to feel that whatever we do, we will not change the big picture. That our little drop will be not important in the ocean. However, as Mother Teresa, born in Skopje, said, the ocean would be less because of that missing drop. The world would have been less if it wasn't for her rivers of goodness.
I believe the event, International School for Young Leaders, will be successful. And as a main donator, I will contribute in such an event to be continually as a traditional. For transmitting our vision, building a better connected world and enrich our life with communication. So, do best, be successful every time. You will find your happiness. Finally, thank you for your being a part of this event and giving me a chance to share my ideas. Thank you very much.
I'm particularly happy for this occasion to exchange views with the young. I'm sure that these meetings are going enormously enriching for all. For knowledge is the only thing that you can give freely and still retain. So, making the person receiving the knowledge richer without yourself, the giver, being any poorer for it. So I look forward to our exchanges today and beyond. Indeed, let me tell our youthful participants that you will be the leaders of a very different world than the one we have known. And that world is being fashioned before our eyes, mostly by the young.
So, allow me once again to thank the organizers for inviting me. It's a great honor and privilege for me to be together with all of you. I'm convinced that every one of you will go home enriched with new visions and new ideas, and allow me to wish you a great success in your future political careers. Thank you very much for your attention.
And now it's my great pleasure to invite the person who imagined this, put it in his program, put it in action, and is the most to be congratulated about the entire success that it has all of these years, because not only is the president with us and you these days, but then he is following your work and supporting you through the alumni, giving out recommendations, following people in their careers, and his doors are always open to you. So please, Mr. President, the floor.
И затоа настојуваме сите добри луѓе да ги потикнуваме да прават добри дела, да го споделуваат своето искуство, знаење и да го шириме кругот на добрина. Таа порака ни остави нашиот учител на нашиот народ од ова подневје, Свети Климент Охридски, ком го му одбележуваме ова година 1100 години од неговото упокојување, и тој велел да се престигнуваме во добрина. Таа е онаа нишка што провејува не сите луѓе што живеат на овој простор и секој пат се приклонуваат кон добрината. А добрината оди со убавината, затоа што и тоа е синоним. Кога ќе слушнете некого како збори во Охрид и Охридско, кога ќе слушнете дека е убав човек, тоа значи дека е добар човек. Така да убавината оди со добрината. И затоа ви посакувам во овие денови да бидете исполнети и со убавина, која нуди ова прекрасна гледка и овој простор што го имаме тука, но и да бидете исполнети и со добрина. Секој пат да мислите на она што е позитивно и креативно. Секој пат да бидете иновативни и секој пат да настојувате да водите, да предводите. И затоа сте лидери. Посакувам сите знаења и умења да ги споделувате со другите, затоа што ако ги чувате за себе, тие ќе се заборават и ќе се изгубат. Но кога ќе ги споделувате, тие се пренесуваат, се размножуваат, се шират добрите идеи, добрите искуства, добрите практики. И да учиме од позитивните примери, да ги учиме сите оние луѓе низ историјата што не задолжиле да правиме добри дела. Како што секоја нова куќа се прави на темелите на стара куќа, така и секоја нова генерација мора да се потпира на претходната генерација. Не да ја заборава или да ја негира, туку секој пат да се надградува, а не да мисли дека се тие први кои почнуваат и од нив се почнува и завршува. Не, како човекова цивилизација должиме многу на нашите предци, но сето тоа треба да го сочуваме затоа што го позаимуваме од идните поколенија. Ним треба да им оставиме природата каква што сме ја затекнале од нашите предци, ним треба да им ги пренесеме сите добри навики однесувања и пред се да се вратиме на основните принципи кои мора да ги почитуваме, а тоа се вика морал. Секој од нас секој пат треба да размислува дали тоа што го прави е корисно, добро, или тоа е штетно, или тоа некого ќе го навреди, или некому ќе му воскрати некоја среќа. Секој пат настојувајте да луѓето околу вас бидат среќни и секој пат настојувајте да ја почувствувате таа среќа и вие. А ќе бидете среќни ако усреќувате друг, ваш колега, ваш пријател, ваш родител. Ова школа пред се, ќе повторам, е школа за успешните. И ова е награда затоа што досега во животот сте постигнале успех и настојуваме тој ваш успех да биде заразен. Секој од што сака да дојде на оваа школа да знае дека треба да биде успешен и тој успех да се наградува. Секој пат настојуваме нив да ги потекнуваме и нив да ги поддржуваме. И тоа е она сила што го менува општеството, го менува човештвото. Ќе помине и овој период на кризи и трансформации, затоа што секој пат во природата има периоди на метаморфоза, кога една состојба се менува во друга. Но имаме и псевдоморфоза, кога формата останува иста, се менува содржината. Сега видовме дека многу форми се менуваат и Европската унија наместо да се зголемува, се намалува. Се доведуваат во прашање многу институции од 20. век. Но 21. век е време на големи предизвици, со многу информации, со многу комуникации, со многу нови технологии и сето тоа треба да се користи за добри нешта, за успешни нешта. Затоа посакувам уште еднаш многу добрина, многу убавина, многу успех и овие денови кои ќе ги поминете на школата да ви бидат пресвртница во вашиот живот, што ќе ве направат уште поуспешни, но пред се стрекни. И сите насмеани да си одите од оваа школа и таа насмевка да ја споделувате со вашите ближни, затоа што и тагата и радоста, ако не се споделува, не може да се доживее. И благодарам.
So then they started talking, and he asked a tremendous amount of questions, but when they asked him questions, he had answers. He had done the homework. And they were surprised he knew so much about the job. But he was the only person who was not in the industry, and he ended up getting the job. And he got the job because he knew how to ask questions and he did his homework. First of all, I'm honored that I was asked to present here. And as a second component, I think that Macedonia is looking for leaders, and if the government or any entity is willing to take the time, energy, and effort to try to grow the youth of their country, I think that can only turn into a benefit long term. So I think it's a great initiative that you've got in place.
Although we were already a sizable company, we started really small with them. We said, okay, let's just try. And we did really, tiny things like cleaning up the animation And they were really happy with our way of doing things, because we always had this principle of star quality without the star attitude. So no job is too small or too big. We're professionals. We have to make it the best we can and the fastest we can. And they loved it, and they kept extending our role. And we come to a point where 2 years ago, it was only us doing all of the work for their shows.
Can you tell me, do you think young people in Macedonia have the potential to become future leaders?
Oh, absolutely. I think that we have a lot of talent and a lot of energy in the young people of Macedonia. I see that every day in my company as well, but around. I don't see any one of them on a lesser level than their peers in other countries around the world.
Now, this is one of these typical situations where you have to figure out, well, we don't like what's happening. What should we do? Well, there are any number of courses of action. You can try diplomacy. You can do nothing. You can actually sit around and hope that the southern Vietnamese regime strengthens. You can actually continue supporting the southern Vietnamese regime. You could also, of course, get yourself militarily involved in the conflict. And then the question is, well, if you do that, what are the likely outcomes of that situation? Where does it lead you?
Let me first start by saying that I'm very honored to be here, and the reason I'm so happy to be here is that I think it's an excellent initiative. One of the things that I think Europe and many other places really needs at the moment is visionary leadership, and this is one place where people in many fields will actually learn some skills to actually be better leaders. One of the things that I think is really also very nice, and it came through very clearly in the message of the president yesterday, is that all of this is also very much guided by values, by ethics, and that's of course just as important, because visionary leadership without humanity is one of the more dangerous things that one can encounter in the world. So I think this combination of having excellent young people who are very motivated, people who can teach them some skills, and also sort of this bundling with values is, I think, exactly what is needed.
I think that the Balkans region and Europe needs them as soon as possible to mature in a good way and to assume their roles of leading their respective societies. And I think it is a very, very good and timely initiative, because most of regular university education doesn't really equip young leaders to really face the challenges of the modern world. So this kind of quite informal but high quality education experience for them is extremely important. From my personal experience and from the experience of the countries in the transition since the fall of Berlin Wall, I think that the first big group of challenges for the leaders are coming from history and coming from past, and the need to break up with the past and to resolve the problems and the challenges coming from the past. In our region of the Balkans, wars, destroyed economies, divided societies, lack of democratic tradition, problems with organized crime and corruption. Those are all the issues that, unfortunately, we inherited from 1990s. Some of them, of course, are coming from the era of communism, so even before the dissolution of Yugoslavia. But you as a leader, unfortunately, you as a leaders will have to face many of those problems. They are unfortunately not going to be resolved overnight. So you will have to face with those problems also, hopefully, when you assume your leadership roles sooner rather than later.
Do you think young people in Macedonia have the capacity to be leaders, to be entrepreneurs, to be visionaries?
I think yes, but as I can see, for these young people and actually young people in Balkan, the biggest problem is they're brave. They're not so brave to get in touch with all problems of entrepreneurship. And what is the biggest thing? They need to first think and then act. So actually, they need to be visionary, to have a good vision how to start with their company, how to build and how to survive. That's the biggest issue in Balkan and this process of transition. These are 6 steps to success. Wish, like beginning of every achievement. He's he's a psychologist, so this is pretty usual way of thinking. Wish, fate, like in making your wish comes true. Auto-suggestion, specialized knowledge, comes from also personal experience, creativity, and strategic planning. Here I put one quote which I really like, and I'm not sure where I found it at. The way you think about your life and your potential has bigger impact on you than any material advantage which you can possess.
Regular life. Clear? Kind of experimentation. I would like to try to see this. You know, all these stories about entrepreneurs, ideas, what is more important? The idea, the timing, the finding, these are interesting things to reflect on and to know about that. But if somebody from Silicon Valley comes here and tell you what is the order of importance, that is very irrelevant in circumstances like this one here. You understand the point?
Definitely very impressive. In fact, I can say beyond my expectation in several dimensions. One is their dedication to really address some of the most urgent issues which are facing Macedonia and other countries globally, the depthness of their ideas and the capacity to immediately connect what they are learning in the school with transferring this to something more operational. So ideas, not just abstract ideas, but also solutions.
What I'm going to use for? You understand my message? Most are focused on how to make money. Very few are focused on what to do with that. Is that going to make you happy because you have another 5 billion, a million, or that? That's something to think about.
Professor Markovic, what are your impressions of the Summer School for Young Leaders?
Well, I have impressions about the audience and impressions regarding the lectures. I think that the level of both is exceptional this year. The group gathered as audience in this year's School for Young Leaders is quite impressive. So are the lectures. So I must honestly say that I feel a little bit intimidated to address this public and hold a lecture, because as I've heard from other lecturers, it's quite a critical public, which I always adore. So basically, I would like just to send a message that they should probably stay like that.
What are the variables shaping presidential profiles? This is the management style, which is not the same as variables shaping individual leaders, right? It's different. What we discussed in regards to leadership until now is how presidents, prime minister, ministers manage. What kind of networks do they set up? But when you personally assess certain political figure, right, there is something called presidential profiles or prime minister profiles or ministerial profiles, whatever.
Do you believe that the young people in Macedonia have the capacity to lead the country in itself?
Well, they have to gain it if they don't have it. That's always the biggest dilemma when it comes to leadership, whether leaders are made or born. Probably a little bit of both. So basically, what this school does is trying to address somebody's affinity to be a leader and try to upgrade it. So the ones that already have this affinity will benefit a lot, and the ones that don't will probably gain it to a certain level. And of course, I think that in any way, young people have the capacity to lead this country, and they will one day. It's just a matter of how will they do it. They have to do it in the right manner, they have to do it with the right moral background, and this school exactly helps build that.
Во тој контекст спомена и Анастасија, меѓутоа јас сакам повторно да потенцирам. Драго ми е што во оваа соба гледам на вистина многу девојки и жени и се надевам дека во многу скоро време ќе можеме да се нарекуваме и колеги, затоа што лидерот и особините на лидер, поготово оние што потекнуваат од областа на менеджментот, тоа најубаво го знаат од делот на теорија, меѓутоа сигурна сум дека и во рамки на школава тоа сте го елаборирале. Не зависи директно од функцијата. Лидерот поседува одреден сет на особини и однесувања, и лидерот не е поврзан со тоа дали сте маж или жена. Лидерот е лидер без разлика дали сте маж или жена. Меѓутоа има одредени карактеристики кои што жените ги имаат и особено во кризни моменти доаѓаат до израз.
What would be your personal message to the young people in Macedonia?
My personal message, as I already stated in my presentation, is that I encourage every single one of the participants here to show what they know and what they can do in tough times, because crisis situations usually take out the best of us and they show who can be a leader in the long run.
Се надевам, гледајќи ве вас во овој состав, дека иднината на Република Македонија е во женското лидерство. Не ги исклучувам мажите лидери, секој со својата сензибилност и специфичност.
Младите во Македонија имаат повеќе од капацитет да водат. Тие ја водат државата во секоја смисла, во секој позитивен правец, но многу е важно да им се даде шанса. Дадената шанса само може да ги направи побрзо да бидат добри лидери и да бидат лидери кои што ќе имаат огромно искуство.
Постојат моменти каде што треба навистина да бидете храбри и да имате многу добар тим околу вас, да ги имате соодветен број доволен број на информации точни, прецизни, спремни за да можете да донесете одлуки. Прво и основно кое што го научивме сите како научена лекција и што не научи мигрантската криза, која што соодветно сега го применуваме и при справување со поплавите, е координираниот пристап помеѓу самите институции.
I would like to advise to all young leaders of our future young leaders of our country to participate and to apply to be part of this school of leadership. I would like also to express my attention that I am very great honor because today I see a lot of faces of happy young people who have capabilities to be our future leaders, who can lead different positions through our public or through our private sector. And one good advice to all leaders future leaders of our country, and to be dedicated to the work that they love to do, to continue through the education process after the finish of their school, because the education process never stops and is very crucial to be a good leader, to have continuously education process, and very essential to be ambitious, to know what is your purpose, and to have vision, and to motivate all your team members to achieve your better result.
You know, because there are three lines in this executive summary. You have to tell him what is the problem in order to have meaningful solution, okay?
Yeah, so you are mentioning the problems, you are mentioning the meaningful solutions, and then you are saying if this is implemented, this is the impact which we will have. Listen, that's what we will do. This is after the coffee break tomorrow morning, we'll go one round of presentation for ourselves so we can comment on that. That will be kind of practicing whether that's good or not. And that will be also interesting for you guys to comment on the other groups. Let me summarize one more time. These are important things, believe me. Because if we can really demonstrate that you guys have done serious thinking about problems which are important for Macedonia, that's the best audience you can have to communicate that. Ja imam jedno vino Angelina Jolie. No kidding. This is from the winery which did the wine for their wedding party. So whatever was left out, somebody bought one bottle for me. But this is more important, of course, than Jolie. Particularly this decide to get big words.
Lowering, improving the performance of the public administration by centralizing the information. А горе ги пишуват.
Okay, I had the pleasure to welcome the President of the Republic of Macedonia on behalf of all these young leaders. I'm younger than I look like, so maybe I can qualify for that. So we will observe all the protocol things, but because this is a working session, we will immediately move to the actual stuff.
The modern society is facing many challenges today. One solution for improving the effectiveness of the public administration is developing an internet-based platform which will structure all the administrative procedures in one place.
My project for the women mothers with disability is structured of 3 phases. The first one is encouraging and consultation of the women with disability for their reproductive and sexual rights and needs. Organizing various offline activities where they can meet their partners and include the male aspect of the problem, improving the access to the health and gynecological services, and supporting services and facilities for the new mothers with disability. Also, I want just to mention the titles of the others 2 projects we were thinking about. That is the interior design solutions for independent life of the people with disability and application for voice recognition.
Macedonia, like any other country, has been affected by climate change. It is a global problem that needs to be addressed locally. The recent floods in our country have raised concern about a potential inappropriate infrastructure in Macedonia. In coordination with the infrastructure, a special attention ought to be paid to preserving the natural resources that might be potential risk factors for possible natural disasters. Although disasters of any kind, as any other natural phenomena, can't be predicted, we suggest a holistic approach interconnects both infrastructure on the one hand and crisis management to prevent catastrophic aftermath.
The student profile will be based on algorithm that will be consisted of background educational and professional experience, and also will follow the future career prospects of the students, where the companies can follow the students and can pick whoever is best for their open position. The informal profile will promote the academies, will promote their courses here, the events and the hackathons here, so the students will feel the opportunity to work and to develop their skills in Macedonia.
The whole exercise doesn't end here today nor a week later. All these detailed proposal will be made available to the website of the school, and that will be an invitation for other young people who had no chance to attend the school to join the existing teams, because now it's more clear which projects they are working on. So they want to expand the teams working on specific projects. And through the communication with the World Bank and Wharton, I hope we will be able to attract people from around the world, young people, to be part of further developing the projects. And I think we are positioning through this exercise the youth of Macedonia in kind of a leading force. So hopefully similar kind of exercises or laboratories will be implemented around the world using the model which was tested over here. Thank you very much.
Еве, 7-ма година поред, како што е обичај во изминатите години, веќе стана традиција. Од името на сите млади лидери и оваа 7-ма година сакаме да ви предадеме една книга во која се вставени впечатоците на сите овдека поединачно лично. Една благородна иницијатива што навистина ми е драго што ете во пракса носи се нови и нови лидери кои сигурен сум дека ќе дадат голем допринос за Република, за развојот на Република Македонија. Еве, повелете книгата да ја предочам само. Можете да отворите да видите. Значи, годишните обичаи кај македонците. И секој да, имаат по цели романи пишувани луѓето, навистина се преблагодарни. Повелете, ви благодариме за поканата за коктелот и уште еднаш за вашата иницијатива.
А еве оваа идеја почна во кампањата од мојот прв мандат и некако дојде спонтано затоа што се постави дилема што би правил професор во политика ако не создае своја школа. И така настана оваа школа која е резултат на сите пријатели што ги стекнав ја во текот на мојот живот, сите колеги, председатели, бивши председатели и сите оние кои сакаа да сето свое знаење, умење, искуство го дадат. Затоа што суштината на секој професор е се што знае треба да даде. И затоа професор предава. Оти ако го чува за себе ќе го заборави и тоа ќе исчезне. Но на ваков начин сите овие наши гости и пријатели сето свое знаење, умење, вештини ги предаваат на вас. За возраст ништо не ви бараме. Но ја следимо на стара мудрост дека тој што дава треба да заборава, а тој што добива треба да памти. Така да радоста е уште поголема што успеавме за овие 7 години многу млади луѓе да им ја потикнеме нивната енергија која како потенцијал стои во нив, но некој требало да ги активира. Значи, сите млади, иновативни, креативни луѓе кои од оваа школа излегува сега се дел од нашите институции, дел од наши универзитети, од компании, од успешни, приказни. И ние сме навистина среќни што тие си го промениле својот живот, стекнале нови познанства, нови пријатели. Затоа што знаете, сите што се фудбалски навивачи се наоѓаат на стадион. Сите што се планинари се наоѓаат на врвот на водно. Сите што сакаат музика се наоѓаат на концерт. Но ние немавме место каде успешните да ги собереме. И затоа оваа школа имаше цел младите успешни луѓе да ги собере на едно место и да им овозможи меѓусебно да се запознаат и да комуницираат.
We live in real time. Real time. As we sit here, something's happening out there. We don't know what, unless you're checking Google or you're checking some web page that can inform you. So I'm not going to overemphasize that point, but I like that term. Shelf life of information is unstable. Access to information is uncontrollable. We know about that. And the true differentiation, and I like this particular term, if you're just figuring things out as opposed to finding things out.
First of all, I'd like to thank the President for the invitation to participate in this International School for Young Leaders here in Macedonia. And it's a real honour for me to be here to participate and to share my experience and knowledge. My impression is of the highest standard, and I shared this view with the President a few minutes ago. We caught up and I gave him some feedback on the quality of the students that have participated in this program, and I was most impressed, particularly with their command of the English language, their intellect, their ambitions to succeed. And their ability to communicate with each other and to share the friendship and to aspire to much higher levels in the future. So I have absolutely nothing more than to say that this is an excellent initiative on part of the President. And as I said to Dr. Ivanov, the President, that if he invites me for next year, I would wholeheartedly accept the invitation again to participate.
So recruitment is a very important part of, because you as the leader, you get judged on all of those things. And you make the wrong choice, it has an effect and impact on you as the leader. So thank you for sharing that.
I think with this opportunity, at least these young people, for sure that they have the opportunity to become the leaders of tomorrow. They are receiving this training. They are having the opportunity to make contacts, to start creating their own networks, professional and personal networks. So yes, I think they are prepared for become the future leaders of the nation. Yeah.
Why do I talk about this story right now? I think at the end it was everything. It's all about trust. I think these persons trusted me. Believe that I could do a great job, and no matter my ideology or political background, so he trusted me, and he trusted that I was capable to do my works.
Can you share with us your impressions of the International School for Young Leaders, which is a project of the President of the Republic of Macedonia?
The actual reason that I'm here second time and for second year as a lecturer and somebody who's financially supporting the actual project, it shows that I was enjoying last time. Usually we say don't do anything which is you don't make you feel comfortable. So last time I had such a great time and pleasure, and which is confirmed to me this time as well. We always says that the future is into the youth people, and there is a great potential, especially in Macedonian youth people, and us, the already established and little bit more mature. We need to do our best to make them remain and stay in Macedonia, because we were just talking about that. There is no better country for us than Macedonia. Yeah, it is a great time and effort to know other languages and to speak other languages, but the best way to talk is on your mother language. The actual word cooperative, it shows that you need to cooperate, establishing a whole circle, which ideal will be, respectively, circle and work between each other. If any of that person, any of that element of that circle thinks it's a special or more important than the other one, that circle, it wouldn't be ideal. It wouldn't be in harmony.
You already mentioned that you believe young people in Macedonia have a capacity to become future leaders. What is your personal message you would like to convey to them?
We were just speaking about that, yeah, we are very intelligent people as a public, but we need to be very focused, little bit more focused on a certain area, on a certain field where we want to become more professional, not to become multitask. It is very important, or sometimes in certain time of your life, but the focusing, determined, hardworking, and constant learning. Once you said that I know it's not good for you, you became old person, and if you're old, then the only natural way is to die. So that's why you have to keep on having a positive energy, remain young, remain youth in your heart and in your spirit, be hungry for more knowledge, more experience, and implementing into the area where you work or you're functioning.
Значи, такви анализи се правени. Многу е body language многу истражуван, за жал кај нас во Македонија не толку. Меѓутоа ова е еден потик и вие малку да почнете, нели, да си усовршувате во невербалната комуникација. Колку сте подобар читач на невербалната комуникација, толку подобар комуникатор ќе бидете и поголем успех ќе имате во комуникацијата со другите луѓе. А зошто е тоа битно, или еве фидбекот, да речеме, зошто е битен? Оти се гради довербата. Фидбекот е орудие за градење на доверба. Ако нема доверба, немате успех да имате. Yeah, Macedonia, like all other countries over the world, need youngsters, especially for new leaders in all spheres, in healthcare, in education, in business, in politics, everywhere. I think they are ready to act in every day. I think that they are devoted to continuous learning, which is very important. It's not only to get some knowledge, to obtain some university degree or some postgraduate study, master or even PhD. I think it's much more important to be devoted on some continuous learning and to implement that in practice. And with this school, we almost have, I think, about 300 people, which can contribute a lot for the development of our country, definitely, I'm sure.
So this year, also our topic was how to build trust, how to build the trust, and how to effectively communicate in order to be a better leader. And our opinion is that to be a leader, you have to build a trust with your followers, because it's to build a trust is very difficult. It's very hard to build a trust, and it's very easy to lose the trust. So if you don't have a trust, if your subordinate or followers don't trust you, so you are not the leader. Actually, you don't have followers. So in this group, I see young people who are committed on their continuous learning, on building their skills in the area of communication, on their professional background, which area they come from.
Тешки се, да. Зашо ви се ти? Стои, ама треба за... Треба овде останало.
Почитувам председателе, почитувани учесници, и отварам сесијата која носи наслов Ораторска вечер. Сакам со еден аплауз да ги поздравам од мојата десна страна овие 10 малку замислени лица, за да добијат храброст и да направат уште подобра презентација. Ако може еден аплауз. Браво.
When life gives you something to be afraid, that's when it gives you a chance to be brave. How many times have you wanted to do something, but fear was holding you back? That feeling that something will go wrong. So instead of risking, you just think, you don't need it. In fact, you do, but you don't want to admit it.
How can I live in peace? How can I continue to be happy knowing that somewhere there, maybe in the same moment, someone is dying as a victim of some crazy mind? I cannot be happy when I hear every day about innocent victims, dead people, and violence.
Laugh. Laugh fully and sincere from the bottom of your heart. Make as much friends as you can. Read as much books as you can. Develop skills. Be more. Travel more. Do more. Show up in your best light, in the best way you can, because you live just once. There is no other chance. Have no regrets, and be aware that it depends just from you how much you will achieve. Nobody else can define you.
Being somebody else better is actually a hard job. You have to sacrifice a lot of things, you have to work hard, you have to take risks and responsibilities. But at the end of the day, you are going to be the one who has left a mark, who has shaped his or her surroundings, and who has been remembered by the others. Our Earth has 7 billion people. If each of us helped just one person, their life to become better, just imagine what will happen to the world.
Така, да.
Свој метод
Така.
изразување, но нешто што најмногу ме заинтригира мене
Мгм.
беше презентацијата на Мартина за видот на лидер.
Супер, честитке. Честитке.
So what is the first requirement if you want to be president? It is highly recommended to have a country to which you could refer and to pretend to be a president. I don't see why Macedonia should be the one exception in the world that can't produce leaders. The very fact that you're doubting the possibility, I think you should erase it from your mind. Any country, large or small, has a potential, and even very small countries have produced quite remarkable leaders. But generally we think of authority as something that we delegate from a society to some among us to take decisions for the good of the community, and that it's a sort of contract. The rest of us accept that authority as being beneficial to both sides.
How do we make people work together? Now I'm going to go off the grid. I will tell you something that I, in my experience, found to be a root of most of the problems. And you know, we all human beings. No matter whether you are a fisherman in Baikal, or you're Mr. Obama, or you're Putin, you all have to use the toilet. You are all human beings, with all the characteristics of a human being. It's a fantastic idea. And 7th year running is the best possible testimony to the success of the concept and the hard work that people put into it, because it's obviously working. it is also an initiative that is so necessary. Not just for Macedonia, but for the entire region, especially for the entire region, which has learned about democracy, market economy only in the last 25 years, notwithstanding all the wars and the troubles that we had in the region, misconceptions about our past and the misconceptions about our future. So it is of paramount importance to work with the young people, because they secure our future and their future as well.
And adopt them by 41 states, so that no state has any privilege putting his laws as the dominant law into our organization. And this is then accepted by all the 41, us dealing with it. So we have our own labor law, for example, and this puts Eurocontrol in a very interesting perspective, because you need to put a lot of energy and resources in areas which in other normal commercial companies you take as a given and have to work under the national laws that are in that country you operate in. I have come here not only to focus on one country's leadership, but also to put the focus on international leadership, because international leadership is not born from nowhere, it's recruited by national leadership. And of course, Macedonia also needs to focus on which people to put in which positions and to prepare for these positions in the future.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the invitation. And I must say that the initiative of the President is really very important. Countries, they need to have a constant educational procedure. That is because we all know, and this is a fact, that change is a characteristic of life. Things change constantly. So we got to be well educated and well informed that we can face these changes and how we can not go under the changes, but go in front of the changes. I'm indeed very excited, as I told you, to be here, among young people with ambitions to lead their country in the future. They hope to change things. Often a privilege of the youth is the driving force of the world. Without this spirit of change, our life would have been less hopeful, more idle and grim. However, it is important to channel enthusiasm and the spirit of change towards the right direction. Cooperation, solidarity and prosperity are the magic words. The goals that should inspire our efforts, the efforts of all leaders, old and young. As I said to my let's say, presentation, there is only one way to live well together. Cooperation, solidarity, and belief in human relations. Without human relations, things cannot go in front. We must put human relations in front of the political interests or political ideas or things like that.
Едноставно сме и ние среќни што веќе речи си 300 луѓе во Македонија, а веќе од околината стекна искуства, знаења и се запознаа меѓу себе. Ова ваше пријателство може по ваш избор да трае преку алумни асоциацијата, можете да се вклучите во иницијативи кои се хумани, кои се позитивни, можете да иницирате како што ваши бивши, да кажеме сега колеги, идеите ги пренесува во своји средини, направија некои своји инкубатори, направија некои своји стартапови, некои направија бизнис, некои направија школи, некои направија обуки, но тоа се пренесува. И тоа на некој начин еден ден ќе ви биде пресврт во животот, ќе знаете дека овие неколку дена, ако одите на некој професионален курс обука, ќе трае може 1 или 2 семестра. Сега е зиповано, ставено е во овие денови, кои би беа мачни, немавте многу слободно време, но имавте многу ентузијазам, енергија која се чувствува и ми ја пренесуваат сите ваши предавачи, кои секој пат имаат за вас многу позитивни зборови.